Welcome. I am Reverend Montclair, and this is Monday Church with Reverend Montclair for January 19th, 2026, a day to traditionally honor Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. His actual birthday is the 15th of January, and it is celebrated on the Monday following. And it is a day for celebrating the efforts that Dr. King put in to increase civil rights for people of color in this country. And he died at that mission. He was young, in his 30s, and he was murdered. So he did a lot in his lifetime to advance the civil rights movement, giving people the encouraging them to stand up for their dignity, for their human rights, for their civil rights, for their right to vote, for the right to be considered equals with the white folks in this country, who many of whom have been racist and want to denigrate others just because of the color of their skin. So I stand in solidarity with the mission of Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and his efforts to create a more equitable society. I also have a particular kinship in the sense that my own mother's birthday was the same as his, and it was many years later, even after she passed away, that I learned that they were born the same day. So it was not an impersonal connection, but a very personal connection. My mother also fought for rights. She focused on rights for women. She embodied that in her life, where she made sure for much of her life that she was not going to accept being treated differently than men would be treated in a similar situation. She definitely embodied her own power, her personal power. And yet the struggle was real in her lifetime and continuing. So today, women's rights are imperiled as much as others' rights. When I say others, I mean people of color in this country, people from different nations, immigrants. And for those of us that care, that have a heart, we also need to make sure that we stand in solidarity with all of those who are in a place of being threatened. And that includes women in this country, where the intention of the current administration is to remove rights, to remove body independence and decisions from all women, starting with removing the rights to vote equally. However, many people's rights to vote, no matter what the color of their skin, is being threatened. So what do we do? Number one is not going into fear, but standing strong and firm in our own beliefs, not caving to the beliefs or the intentions of the current administration, being strong in who and what we are, and knowing to our core of our own value and our own worth. And that means in every aspect of your life, acknowledging and standing firm in your own worth and value in every interaction. So take a deep breath, let it out, breathe in again, and let it out. And be certain that your life has value as much as anyone else's on this planet. And take the steps to honor that life within you, to care for your life, to um, remember your value in the sense that we all have positive contributions that we're going to make or have made on this planet. So maybe it's a good idea to remember some of them, to turn off the news for a couple of days and just get centered, not in your thoughts, but in your core, to be centered in a belongingness, to be centered in your worthiness, to center yourself and ground yourself in the whole puzzle of this human existence, that there is a reason for your existence, that there is a divine path to follow in your life, and not let anything sway you from that. And if you haven't been clear on what that is, you've got to tune into that heart of yours and follow your heart wisdom. But first, you've got to acknowledge that you have value, that you have something that this world needs, that others in your life or soon to be in your life need, and that your gifts are yours to share. And it is not your what it is not for us to not share them. It's not part of our lives to resist sharing them. When I say not part of our lives, it could be, but divinely guided, we're not to withhold those gifts, because those gifts that we have, the experiences and lessons that we've learned, the wisdom that we've learned, the world needs. So withholding our gifts from the world makes the world less, makes the world weaker, makes the world less strong, less whole. So share your gifts, share your wisdom, share your knowledge, share your love, and you will be walking on that path that is yours to walk. Don't ignore the best of you. Don't hide the best of you. And sometimes the best of us comes forward because of the worst of what we've experienced. So be freer with your gifts. Be more generous with your gifts. And that means you've got to be freer within yourself and more generous with yourself, and cast a more generous gaze within yourself to see how much value you have, to see um, how much you do have to share. So, on the day honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I ask you to give yourself the gift of freedom of your soul. Be free with your soul and honor that soul and honor your wisdom, honor your heart by sharing it. And yes, we all have to have discernment of with whom we share our hearts and our souls with. There are some with whom our hearts are not safe, and yet we still need to find ways to share our gifts. So much love to you all today. And to quote again the Dine, which means the people, the Navajo culture, the Beauty Way prayer, I say, may you walk in beauty, with beauty before you, with beauty behind you, with beauty above, with beauty below, with beauty all around you. May you walk in peace, in love, in justice, and in equality and acknowledgement of all that you have to offer this world. Peace be to you and your path. Till next time, I am Reverend Montclair. I am an interfaith minister, and this is Monday Church with Reverend Montclair. Thank you for tuning in.